Oh, poor D-Bag missed seeing one of his coworkers' asses.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a very gullible boy.
It's real easy to give D-Bag the runaround,
It
isn't
sure
it?
is, yeah. He buys anything.
Some girls was like, because D-Bag was setting up the cameras. Some girl was like, when I walked by, I pressed my ass against the glass and you didn't see. And D-Bag's in here bragging to us about it like it happened. It never occurred to him.
It didn't happen.
It didn't.
There's cameras all over the place. No employee's going to put their hiney against the glass.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
Unless it's in here and it's the TEF box.
Right. Well, that happens all the time.
But that's not harassment. That's welcomed. Didn't happen.
Right. Sorry, D-Bag.
Didn't happen.
Welcome to Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. Oh, it's going to be a great show today. Very spooky in here. It's Halloween.
Yeah, it really is. We're dressed up like two fucking failures.
I was driving around the city on Saturday because I went in and saw Bobby Kelly at Gotham over the weekend. And it's just so, I don't know, I get douched out so bad. All the dudes walking around in their Halloween costumes, Like, it's one thing when you go and you kind of put, like, half effort in. I'm okay with that. But, like, the guys that really go all the way, I'm like, what are you doing? It's just, is this just, like, fun?
I don't understand what the end game is. It's like it's a fun night, but then you have to go home and you're like, all right, now I can't look like this again.
Right. Like, I guess the idea is that, like, you're trying to get laid, right?
I'm assuming so, but people take pride in their costumes.
Yeah.
People take pride in like, wow, your costume. People just want compliments.
They do.
You look good. Yeah,
You know who I am, right?
Yeah, we know.
You know who I am. And, of course, Hillary Duff is the celebrity that gets thrown under the bus for her offensive costume.
It's fun. I wrote an article for Time on offensive costumes. And I should have named it something different because I named it Don't Be So Sensitive. So I get all these tweets from black people going, what are you telling us that we shouldn't care about blackface? I'm like, that's not what the point of the article was.
Did they read the article or just decide to jump on the headline?
One guy says he did, but it was more about, as a country, we just seem to like to throw people under the bus for making assholes out of themselves on Halloween. I don't understand the attraction to it. Who gives a fuck? If someone makes a fool out of themselves on Halloween, like whether she and her boyfriend dress stupid, who gives a shit?
Right.
Like,
right.
why does the news get involved? Tufts University was going to have the police get involved.
Yeah, and I saw University of Central Arkansas expelled a student and suspended a frat because somebody wore blackface and dressed up as Bill Cosby.
Yeah, and that sweater. And it was an Instagram post, like a private Instagram post or something.
Yeah.
But he's begged for forgiveness. And like when you look at it, it's a really bad version of blackface. Like it's kind of a dumb one to do. It's like, I don't know how you put that on.
It really looks like shoe polish.
Yeah, it doesn't look good at all. But I don't know how you do that and think, unless you're drunk and you do it. Like, hey, I'm Cosby.
But that's the thing. Like, there's no sort of thought of, let's find out why this kid thought it was like, that was cool. Like, that'd be fine. And nobody would have a problem with it. Maybe we could teach somebody why that's not good. Instead, they're just like, you're suspended. You go away now. Expelled. The whole frat's suspended, and it's just like you just have to go live under a rock somewhere and you're the villain now. You're the bad guy of the story. It makes you a bad person.
Yeah.
When this is just a fucking dopey kid.
He said he's getting death threats.
Yeah, of course he is.
Yeah.
Someone predicted that in their little article.
Did someone?
Yes, someone did. That people would get death threats.
No.
Maybe he should have been reading Time magazine.
Oh, maybe he should have been.
Did you ask them to put a photo of David S. Pumpkins?
I did not.
Next to the headline of your article?
And I do wish I had gone with the title they suggested. That's one mistake I made.
What was the title they suggested?
It was something about in defense of politically incorrect. It was just too official, and I was in between two things. I'm like, let's just call it this. It's faster. But people seize one thing, and they make it like it was so fucking irritating. It's like, how do you take that out of this?
I think too that as far as the costumes go, like bullying is so bad now. And I think, I've said this about other scenarios, that the minute somebody finds somebody that's doing something wrong, like if you're wearing blackface, then all that bully energy that we don't pick on anybody with anymore, we all unloaded on you. So we found our person that we can just strip down and destroy their lives because they dressed up like an Indian.
And it's a weird, and then people are like, well, people who have been marginalized, you don't understand because you're a cisgender white man, all this stuff. It's like, you've been marginalized and it's shitty and no one's saying it's not shitty. But this jerk-off frat guy does not represent a society. He represents a dummy who made a stupid decision.
Yeah.
It's not like it's government officials doing it or like the whole police department. Then I could see being pissed. But look at this fucking dope.
Right.
Like, look at this guy. They have Bud Light fucking things in their hand. Like, they're just drunken asshole frat guys.
Yeah.
It's not, it's not representative of the culture and the way it is now.
And especially when you grow up sheltered enough that, like, you're like, yeah, you can wear blackface on Halloween. It's kind of cool, depending on the costume. College is where you're supposed to go to get exposed to all this other stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, college is where you're supposed to learn about why people don't like it and learn about people who didn't grow up like you or whatever. But instead of taking this dude and be like, we need to teach you something, if it's that bad.
Right.
We need to teach you why it's that bad. They're just like, you go, you're going to be cast out. We're going to send you, it's like the Salem witch trials. We're going to send you out into the forest. We're going to throw you off this cliff. And if you really are a witch, we'll know, because you'll survive.
Yeah. And it's funny how nobody minds dressing up as witches when people were fucking killed for that.
Yeah.
Years ago.
They will, though. That's the problem. It's a slippery slope that, like...
Ooh.
Oh, I know. I know.
Fucking slippery would come.
What?
No, just some guy on Twitter last night told me I was doing chip too much, so I had to...
But, like, it's this thing where... We can all acknowledge that blackface is not the greatest idea in the world to do on Halloween.
It's stupid to do in 2016.
Stupid.
Yeah.
But when we start going out and saying, like, some colleges were saying, not just saying nobody wears blackface, they're saying no offensive costumes, no cultural costumes. And that's when people start nitpicking and find, well, technically this is my culture and that's his culture and blah, blah, blah.
Instead of just saying, hey, look, it's Halloween, try to be mindful of the people around you and don't be an asshole.
Right.
And then let people do what they want.
Yeah, and by the way, if you're an asshole and people call you an asshole, don't come to us.
Exactly.
If somebody kicks your ass because you're wearing blackface, you know, it is that's what happens.
Well, the black guy walked up to this guy and said to him, like, man, that's offensive shit. Do you understand how offensive that is? It's like, why can't it be handled that way with somebody just telling this guy?
It should be handled.
Somebody saying that's really offensive. Like, why does the school have to get involved?
Yeah.
I'm not saying black people shouldn't say you're pissed about it, but I don't think the school should get involved and expel you for just making a stupid Halloween decision and then threaten to get the fucking police possibly involved.
No, and like, it's a punishment to have everybody think you're a dick face. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's what would happen. All of his classmates would be like, oh, he'd walk into class, you know, this morning, Monday morning. People would be like, oh, that's the dick face that dressed up like Bill Cosby. And that's fine if everybody thinks you're a dick face. But you're right, to go and expel and suspend a frat and do all this stuff.
Fox 24, the news covered it.
Yeah.
That's the problem I have.
And it's national news.
Frat guy makes an asshole out of himself. It's national news.
Right. It went from Fox 24, and this is UCA, whatever that, I don't know where UCA is. Is that Colorado? I don't know.
Central Arkansas.
Arkansas. Okay, so this is Arkansas. It gets picked up by local news in Arkansas, and then it's one of the top stories in the New York Daily News. Like, it's a national story.
Is that the Daily? I have not
That's
read
where
the
we're
Daily
reading
News.
this from. It's the New York Daily News.
Oh.
And it becomes this national story. Now,
white guy makes a really dumb decision at a frat party. That's all it is. That's what it is.
When a celebrity does it, I could see posting
it's a little more newsworthy, at least a photo, right?
And being like, look at how stupid this person is. But beyond that, that's it. Like, that's the end of it, right? That's the whole story. Like, oh, in our roundup of celebrities who are idiots, and that's kind of it.
And it's not like, and it's irritating that people take one thing and that's what they talk about. Because it wasn't just about, my article wasn't about, hey, blackface, get over it. It was just about this desire we have to get people for doing something a little stupid or very stupid.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's and in this Tufts University thing, they talked about no offensive with tragedies, so you can't dress up like like all of these things that somebody could find offense with. And there's a huge list. And it's like, I don't give a fuck what anybody looks like on Halloween.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's 9/11 shit. I don't care if it's fucking Hitler, the Titanic, whatever you want.
It doesn't matter.
All at once. How about Hitler on the Titanic? On 9/11. All of those.
Do it.
Hitler flying the Titanic into the Trade Center.
Yeah, I'm one of the broken Titanic smokestacks with a Hitler mustache on. like, what difference does it possibly make?
It really does. You're right. It is that bully energy where people like to feel angry. Like, I get it. I get addicted to it a little too.
They have to find somebody that they're allowed to feel angry at. You're not allowed to just be angry like that, right? You can't pick on people. So you have to find somebody that you're allowed to be angry at. And when you do, you take it all out. I was talking to Adrian. He was like, yeah, you know what I dressed up as? He went to some stupid Halloween party over the weekend.
What?
And he was like, Adrian, why don't you tell him what you dressed up as?
It was an OBGYN.
An OBGYN?
Like a gynecologist?
No, I know what that is. Thanks for the explanation.
I asked him if he was walking around wearing one of those super cool female body inspector t-shirts.
Oh, those are hot. FBI.
But guess what? Immediately, out of the Tef box came laughter. Out of me came laughter. We were all laughing at what a fucking stupid bro Adrian is. But that's fine.
But wait, did you have the medical? How did people know you were a gynecologist and not just a dentist?
Because I wore scrubs that had a name tag that said OBGYN.
Oh, you do? Because they always wear that says OB.
OBGYN,
yeah.
Everybody has their job title on it.
Cooter inspector. Got it.
Yeah. Plus, he would walk up to girls and say, hey, need your pussy examined?
No, he wouldn't be that vulgar. He'd just point at the thing and go, hey.
Yeah.
Point at it. Get it?
Hey, don't worry. I'm a professional.
Ooh, and imagine if one girl let you do it and you found a lump in your vagina, how unsexy that would be. That would be bad.
But that's like, that's one of those things where it's like, man, it's not as bad as blackface, but it's like, you just go, this guy's a dope, and it's funny. And you move on, right?
Yeah.
Blackface is shitty. It's shitty, and it represents something awful. Shitty. But every guy doing it is not trying to represent the oppression of America for the first 200. It's just some guy being a dope.
Right.
Again, he's not a public official or an elected guy. He's just some frat idiot.
And
gives a fuck.
Frat idiots are not, you can't.
They drink beer out of a hat. They make a lot of shitty decisions.
Yeah. They make beverages in Tupperware. You know what I mean? When it comes time for jungle juice.
They to get into a fraternity, you got to spit bananas out of your asshole or reach into a toilet and squeeze things. Like, they make a tremendous amount of bad decisions.
Yeah. It's the whole reason that frats exist.
Yeah.
To make other people do, you have to do stupid shit, so that way you can find people that you can make do stupid shit.
And how does your intent with a Halloween costume not go into it? Like Hillary Duff and her boyfriend, like, all right, why is cultural appropriation, like, why is dressing up as someone so terrible? If you're not doing it to be humiliating or cartoon them or mock them, like is there any American cultural appropriation, or have we not been culturally appropriated so we don't feel it? I don't understand why that's.
I think
like the Irish. I'm Irish.
Right.
Fucking dress like a leprechaun. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I think that there are groups that like Native Americans, Black people, Hispanics, when they see people walking around with like fucking bottles of tequila and sombreros, that feel marginalized anyway. And so when they see themselves kind of being portrayed cartoonish, they know that for a lot of people, like the reason the guy wears blackface is because he doesn't get that would be bad, or he doesn't understand the history of blackface or anything like that.
Part of it is definitely that, but what if you are literally trying to look like somebody?
Yeah, even when it's not cartoonish, like Hillary Duff's boyfriend dressed up as an Indian.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to be
cartoony about it.
And she was a pilgrim.
Yeah.
Right. She should have slaughtered him. Just halfway through the party, slit his throat.
Yeah, it's fucking true. Or handed him a turkey and he throw anthrax on her.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. I forgot who did what.
She's running around just throwing blankets on him.
But yeah, you're right. They weren't trying to be, they were just dressing up as two historical people.
Yeah, that's what Halloween is.
Yeah.
Except Hillary Duff was a pilgrim with no pants on.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm a sexy pilgrim.
That's fine.
Yeah. But I'm kind of a slutty pilgrim, but it's okay because it's Halloween, so it's fun.
Yeah. Squat over Plymouth Rock. Pick it up with my cunt.
But yeah, I don't think like I see that and I don't have a problem with it. I think the idea of dressing up as a Native American and that's an offensive thing that's new. Like that's one of, and that's what happens when you decide that we're going to make a list of culturally offensive costumes. Then you just start adding and adding and adding.
But how is there never understanding between the difference between a guy who's literally just dressing up like a historical figure on Halloween and somebody who's being like I get the Cleveland Indians thing. I think is shitty.
Yeah,
Chief Wahoo. It's like this fucking cartooned Indian. It looks like a caricature. Like it doesn't look good.
It's almost like. When I look at the picture of Hillary Duff and her boyfriend, I look at them, the guy dressed up as an Indian. I look at him and I'm not like, oh, how could he be that offensive?
Right.
I look at him and be, how could he be that stupid? He knows people are going to fucking jump on him for this. Yeah. And that's a totally different thing. Like that. Now we're just trying to make it so that we don't get in trouble for something, as opposed to saying, well, like, oh no, this is actually wrong.
But if you do a movie and you have actors dressed as Indians, no one complains. Or sometimes people complain, but
people complain now. They didn't used to.
It's silly,
but they complain now. I think blackface you could do on Halloween. Like you could be a black character on Halloween.
No, even
without
that
wearing
gives you shit.
No,
without.
I mean, you can be a black character without wearing blackface.
But to me, if you're dressing up like somebody,
like Julianne Hough, we brought up I think on Friday when she went as Crazy Eyes and she wore blackface. Like I think that argument goes out the window when she's like, "Well, I'm Crazy Eyes, so I'm wearing blackface," and it's like, "Yeah, but your hair's still blonde." You know what I mean? Like, why would you go so far as to change your pigment of your skin?
But that's not minstrel show blackface. That's not a mockery. Like when people dress like...
It's just heavy bronzer.
But it's like different. It's like literally trying to look more like somebody than putting on... A minstrel show has a much different implication. It's a fucking... it's a really, really shitty historical... Just putting black makeup on your face does not make you a racist or a fucking deserving to be a pariah. I'm sorry. Any more than doing anything else on Halloween makes you deserving of being a racist or being a pariah. Stop it.
Yeah.
You know, if you dress like you're in a minstrel show and you do something like that and you're trying to be fucking cartoonish, I think your intent is kind of shitty and a lot different.
Yeah.
And how do people not kind of understand what each... There's a big difference. We all seem to understand intent. Like if you're walking and you bump into somebody, they understand the difference between that and if you walk up and shove them.
Mm-hmm.
One is going to get you punched in the face, and one will probably get you, oh, okay, excuse me.
But there's no subtlety to it. They're just looking for a person they can get. Okay, got her. You know what I mean?
She did it!
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
She did it! But no, she was trying to be, yeah, she did it!
Right. Is that what... That's not what color her skin is.
Yeah. Gotcha!
Yeah. That's it. That's what the goal is.
If there was any differentiating, like literally if someone dressed up in minstrel show... and people are like, wow, that's really a fucked up costume. And then her dressing like a character from TV and literally trying to look like the character. If people would differentiate between the intent of those two, I'd kind of be on board with it and go, yeah, you're right. That guy is being a scumbag.
Right. Right. Yeah, but because the Bill Cosby guy,
that's just stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, who's doing it? It's a fraternity guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If the chief of police does it, you get a major complaint. And you have a very valid complaint.
Yeah, then you're like, you know what? We should probably have a different chief of police.
That's stupid.
What, are you gonna have a different frat guy? You shouldn't be a frat guy then.
You just can't. But you know what? There's no way to discuss this stuff where it's just race is just too. It's just too painful for people or too angering or whatever it is. And fucking no one, you can't rationalize through a discussion like this because people have so much emotion tied up in it. Yeah. White people and black people. That it means too much to be on the right side of the argument. Because to be on the wrong side of the argument, if you're black, means that a lot of your racial complaints aren't being validated.
Right.
And to be on the wrong side if you're white means you're a racist. So we invest so much in being fucking right.
I can understand why black people would have a zero tolerance policy though. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I don't. I'm not sitting there going like, "What? Julianne? She's a racist." But if I were wearing like bronzer and it was like, well, it's very light blackface, but I'm trying to look like fucking Denzel in John Q. You know, if I was sitting there like this is my costume, and there were black people that were very upset by that, I'd probably reflect on that, going like, yeah. I probably didn't need to throw the bronzer on. Maybe John Q wasn't my costume.
So do you think that any type of darkening makeup, when trying to look like a celebrity, and again, when the intent is just to honestly look like somebody for Halloween, do you think that that's bad? Any type, like if you go as Cosby and you just wear a sweater, it's almost like you're going, look, guys, I'm not doing the black. Why be Cosby? Then don't do it.
Yeah.
Then dress up as something else.
I think you can. You can only go so far as tanning. Like, you can be the Jersey Shore kids and apply tanner, but then one step extra. If you become a black person, I can see where people...
But if you're Cosby, like literally, people are saying it's offensive because he put on black... It's like, but he's a rapist.
That's what I was just about to say.
He's a fucking rapist.
How great is that? That nobody's talking about the fact that he wore blackface to dress as a serial rapist.
Like, look at that guy who dressed up like Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a white guy who dressed up like Lil Wayne. He's not trying to fucking...
He's
literally just trying to look like Lil Wayne.
I'm not mad at him. I get his intention, but especially... Like, Lil Wayne is probably the worst pick. Because in terms of looking like a new age minstrel show, Like to wear blackface and then get all thugged out, even though you're specifically trying to be a character. I could see where if I'm a black person, I'm going like, don't do that. Like,
but with cultural appropriation and things like that, especially like with rap and things like that, like white people, the biggest sales are probably to white people. Love rap. So is that cultural appropriation to be listening to rap? I don't know. Like, where does it begin and end? It's too confusing.
It really is.
It all depends on the mood of the person accusing you or how they feel about it. And then you have to take responsibility for how they fucking react to the way you feel. It does. There's no rules with it.
So you're telling me the slope becomes slippery.
It's a slippery well. We're all falling down. Yeah, like these guys were a little. All right, that's kind of shitty.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like the characters they're portraying at all. We're looking at Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan.
I didn't even know who that was supposed to be.
I'm assuming it's Tiger Woods because one guy's wearing a golf shirt and one guy's wearing a Jordan jersey.
And he has the golf glove.
Except the guy in the Jordan jersey is wearing a do-rag and possibly a grill. I can't tell. But they're jet black.
But those guys don't represent anybody. They're just two dopes.
Yeah, they're fucking idiots.
Like, no one looks at them and goes, see, that's the way all of us should do it.
Yeah, this is white people when nobody else is around. Like, nah, not really.
Because they're also saying that any type of tragedy is offensive, and like the Trump costume, that's going to be offensive because he's that's rape apology, or there was another one that people got mad at.
People were mad at
the suicide scars.
Yeah, and some Kim Kardashian robbery.
The robbery, that's very offensive.
Dude, you can't dress up as clowns.
Yeah,
you can't dress up as clowns because of the clown crime epidemic. Literally, the only thing left to be is either wear one of those stupid adult onesies so you look like a unicorn, or David S. Pumpkins. Other than that, no Halloween costumes are okay.
The priest with the kid wrapped around him is fucking hilarious. That's a hilarious costume. It's what's in the news. It's kind of what's been, topically for the last few years to talk about Catholicism and all the molesting.
And it's context, too. It's like if you're at an adult Halloween party with people.
Well, you wouldn't have the kid there if you were an adult.
It's not actually. No. That's just a costume. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a really committed costume.
Yeah, really. Yeah. You know how much trouble he'd get into.
But if you're in an adult party, right, with other adults that you know, then be a fucking pedophile priest who's getting blown. Who cares? But then to put it on Twitter and to put it on websites and to put it on the news, it becomes this whole other thing where you're like, this wasn't for everybody. This was for my friends at this house party that I went to.
It's not like, hey, look, this guy, you've put this in everyone's face and now we're reacting. It's, we found you and we got you. And we're going to parade you around and show everyone how we got you. And people are never fucking honest about their own bloodlust.
Yeah.
They're never honest about their own desire to get somebody or to make them fucking pay. It's like if people were a little more straight about that, I'd have more empathy with what they were saying.
But nobody addresses it because they're like, no, we're addressing this terrible problem of racism, and so you never get to the part.
Or Jeff Ross, right? Hilarious when he dressed up at the roast as fucking
Paterno,
Paterno or Sandusky or whatever with two football players with no shirts.
Yeah,
that was so funny.
It's great. But people are so being like, we need to tackle this problem of racism that you can't get past that word. So nobody's ever going to fess up to the fact that they are just looking to get people.
And anybody offended, they construct the argument in a way that you can't have a counterpoint. Well, you're a cisgender male. You don't understand. Okay, so I can't weigh in on it.
Then I guess the conversation's done.
Yes, that's it. You just make your statement, and then everyone listening goes, okay, and there's no counterpoint to, well, no, here's what the intent might be.
Well, as a white man, you wouldn't understand. All right.
Okay, cool.
All right, so I'm going to go about my business then, because we're done, I guess. I'm not going to sit here and listen to you just teach me. Let's go to Terry in Chicago. Terry, welcome to Jim Norton and Sam Roberts on this spooktacular edition Halloween show.
I would like to say I'm extremely honored because I've had the opportunity to speak to both of you guys just on separate shows, and I'm so happy now I get to talk to both of my favorite people now at the same time.
Hello.
That's very nice.
Hey, but I wanted to say, like, I think with the Halloween costumes, like, Jim, I agree, to a point. I agree with you also, Sam, that to a point there is this sensitivity that we've kind of over-exaggerated when it comes to dressing like certain people or characters because we know what it represented at a certain point in time. But I think that it's possible for people to dress like someone that's in a movie or a character, but I think at the point when you start to change the complexion of your skin. And I think when you do it ridiculously also, you know, like you've got people who are at a party and like I wouldn't know, but I've seen white people dressed as Lil Wayne on Halloween without the black makeup. And I'm like, oh shit, that's Lil Wayne. The grill, you've got the Cash Money chain, you've got the dreads, that's Lil Wayne. I don't need to see you with the makeup on for me to be like, oh shit, that's really Lil Wayne. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really register to me at that point. At that point, once I see you with the makeup, then I'm like, okay, I know what you're doing. And we know behind the scenes there's a lot of racism that goes on. Like Patrice said, you know, we know racism exists, but no one's ever met a racist.
Right.
And we know that once you come out in the open, like those people, like you said, and I agree also, those people who we see on Twitter or we see them on Facebook or Instagram, those people who are brazen enough to take those pictures and do that, they're still kind of hiding behind this anonymity of you don't know me, you won't know where I am. But we know that people feel like that behind closed doors.
Let me ask you a question. How do you know and I know what you're saying, like, so some of them are maybe closet racists who are trying to get away with it and think, but what is the difference? Like, you know, black people can spot a racist normally. I mean, if you're talking to somebody, you know, whatever it is that you'd pick up on from somebody who's a racist. So how do you not always say that, yeah, the guy is being a racist when he's doing this? Like, how come there's never a point where they go like, that was just a dumb decision?
Well, I think it is. Like, my girlfriend's white, and there's a lot of times where I'll tell her about shit that people do that I work with, and she'll say, well, that is kind of being racist. And I'm like, nah, I don't think that's really what it is. You know, like, I'm one of those people who I'll say, you know what, maybe this person's just a dick that happens to be white. I happen to be black. And then that person's just an asshole, opposed to me just going straight to the race card. Like, there's this subtlety, like you guys were talking about before, that you have to know exists, and then be able to differentiate these situations without just painting that person as a racist. But I think that when you go that far, you know, I think that's a different level, you know. But then I was also thinking about it when I was sitting here. I'm like, but if somebody dresses up like Dracula, they'll usually put on white makeup and put on, like, red lips, because that's what we. But I also think.
But also, the character of Dracula was wearing white makeup.
Yeah,
exactly. Like that wasn't his real flesh. Right. He was fictional. Actually, a lot of people don't know that.
Well, and a lot of people say, well, yeah, but even if like the Wayans brothers wearing whiteface, yeah, but white people weren't victimized by people wearing whiteface. It wasn't a source of humiliation. Like, I understand that. I'm not using that example. I'm just saying that when people are doing it and their intent isn't to be shitty, there seems to be no differentiating between them and someone who's trying to act like they're in a minstrel show and act like a fucking. It's almost like the intent means nothing when you dress up now like a Native American, or if you dress like you're black, or if you do like. And there's a list of things. Blackface is one of many things that people are now coming on. It's more the pattern that drives me crazy. It's like we show these people, it becomes news, and again, they're not like police chiefs. It's a frat guy or two fucking dumbbells somewhere in a trailer, and and Fox News or CNN or whoever or local news talks about it, and then everybody's like, oh my god, and then there's the public apology. It's the same pattern, and it's like, ugh, here we go again. And it's just
and it never leads anywhere.
It never leads anywhere.
Exactly. I agree. It is disgusting that we try to find these people that we want to make the person who we tar and feather. Like, that dude's a nobody. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't really make a difference, although it does represent something that we know exists. It's not like this dude's running around to his classes with a noose around in his hand, throwing it around black people's heads and dragging them down the street. Like, this dude's not. He's just an idiot. You know what I mean? But I think because there's this underlying tone of racism that no one really talks about as much, and you know, actually, I can't even really say that. It's being talked about a lot nowadays. But because we still can't get somebody to just say, yeah, dude, I don't like, this is why I did this, and it's because I really just kind of don't like that about you or you people or whatever, I think that people still look for it, and then the media and the news is the worst about it because they pander to people who have low IQs, I think.
But you know what, too? People can't even have that discussion. Because I've gone back and forth with a few people on Twitter. And, for by and large, like people who I've been arguing with, I'm talking in DM with just because you can have longer chats.
Mm-hmm.
And
it goes down in the DM.
What's that?
It goes down in the DM.
I was going to say that, but I didn't want it to sound like I was a Samuel appropriating my co-host culture. And it's like, yeah, I get people, they're giving very passionate reasons as to why it bothers them and feeling marginalized. And it makes sense, but the annoying part is that was not kind of what I was writing about. But I get, like, when someone is saying, like, hey, man, you haven't dealt with this. Look, I can't say I understand what that feels like, but I just think that the overreaction to it, and there's never any stress put on, like, okay, well, look at how dumb the source is. Like, the source isn't a meaningful source.
Right. It's never a real conversation.
It's almost like just because and I keep saying frat guy, but just because some fucking local dope does it.
Fucking bro.
It's not, it's not like, hey, entire culture, this is who you are still. It's like,
Yeah.
But all right, thanks for the call. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Terry.
I appreciate it, man. Later.
I'll talk to you later. Oh, this sounds disturbing. Ben in Indiana.
What's disturbing about that?
What?
I don't see anything disturbing about that.
What's up, buddy?
Good morning, guys.
Welcome aboard, Ben.
Hey, I was at a costume party over the weekend, and I just kept seeing this one costume. It offended me so greatly. But, men, women, children, everyone was wearing it. It was Teft Face.
Were people wearing Teft face?
People don't know what that is.
Yeah.
What happens is it's where you strap a plastic asshole to your face.
Is that it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And then you have to put, like, you're in the running position towards a bus because that's where mother is.
See, I always thought.
Sorry, Travis.
I'm
so sorry.
I had been under the impression that Teft face was a single teardrop and then soot from dust being kicked up by a tire driving away from your house.
Oh no, Teft face. Yes, it's a single tear, and it's a ripped up Mother's Day card taped to your chest.
Which I find offensive. Is the point of why we bring this up.
Absolute, to waste a card like that.
Yeah, Teft box comment?
Nope.
Sorry. I always feel bad.
And we were trying to explain. I can't remember. Somebody was listening to the show that Jess and I were hanging out with over the weekend, and they were talking about they'd heard me, you, and Bobby making fun of Travis for his family issues, and was trying to explain how funny it was, and Jess hadn't heard it, and she was like, Did he laugh at it? It sounds not funny. It sounds very, very mean. I go, no. It's hilarious.
It is, yeah. It's good-natured.
It's good-natured.
It's ribbing.
That's it. It's just a little locker room talk with the boys.
There's no way to explain that to people.
No.
So you were laughing, why? Well, no, his mom left.
Yeah.
And? No, that's it.
She hasn't come back.
Yeah. No, I'm never going to see each other again.
No, 15 years. No.
They have no relationship anymore.
It's so heartbreaking that you have to make fun of it.
Of course. It's the most vile thing a mother could do.
Smart, though.
And it's Sam's favorite story.
It's the best.
It is. Believe me, it's Sam's mother's favorite story. She envies your mother. I mean, the email.
Yeah.
Exactly. Where'd you meet this fella?
My mom's living vicariously through the story.
Absolutely. One day, you're just going to go to Sam's house for Thanksgiving. He's just going to be a sad man in a mustache. She left.
Let's go to Joe on Long Island. Joe,
how do you do, Joe?
Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Oh, how we doing, boys?
Hello, Joe.
First of all, I love the comment you had, Jim, about why white people and black people need to win their respective arguments. If black people lose, then they don't care about their own race, and if white people lose, then they're racist. But my question is more has to do with why is it more, I guess you could say, scoldable for someone in the news media outlet or police officers or whoever. Obviously, they're in the public eye, so they have more, cameras on them. But the, douchebag that's in the frat house, he kind of, it's not okay, but at the same time, he doesn't have as much pull. Because at the end of the day, really, it's what it boils down to, which is, racism. So why is it more okay for one than the other, I guess you could say?
I'm not even, it's again, with race, there's no right answer. Like, whenever you have this discussion, you go down a rabbit hole with free speech or anything. There's always great examples people give where you go, fuck, I don't have the answer for that. And where we get into trouble is everybody tries to prove the part of the argument that's kind of hard to answer. I don't know. what the difference is. Like, I think that it's knowing what you're. I think it's knowing, like, as you get older, if you're a cop, you kind of understand that that's going to offend a lot of people on a deep level, even if it probably shouldn't, because your intent isn't there. And I just think a frat guy knows a little bit less about the way people are going to respond.
But it's also, if you're a politician, you're representing people.
Yes.
Like, the things that you do represent us. And even if you're a police officer, you're protecting, but you're also kind of representing your community. So a frat guy doesn't represent anybody but his dopey self. A college kid, whoever they are, just represents themselves. Whereas somebody that's an elected official or a government official represents us.
And has power.
Yeah.
Over people. So if you're showing people something about yourself that you make decisions that are that questionable. But then again, on Twitter, I was just saying last night, you can't win no matter what you say.
No.
Because on Twitter, I was saying you're a stupid asshole if you wear blackface in 2016, meaning you're going to hear shit about it. What are you doing?
Right.
And then someone tweeted, like, what about Tropic Thunder? Which, I'm not saying that I judge you morally. Shame on you. But I'm just saying it's stupid because you're going to catch shit for it.
And by the way, the Tropic Thunder example works to your argument because the character was an asshole because he was wearing blackface the whole movie. It was part of the thing.
And it was also it was a great performance by Downey Jr. But one thing is they handled that extremely carefully.
Yes.
With the way they presented that. That wasn't carelessly done. That was done, it was almost, and they had to. But that was a very funny movie, a full retard. Like, they went very politically incorrect, which was great.
But it's literally, you know that your argument is not great when it's literally the only example that exists. There's one, and it's Tropic Thunder, and everybody goes back to it, but that's the only example.
But it's a fair example. But it's like when you do it like that, and your intent is to do it as something that's not like making an asshole out of black people, I don't see a problem.
But in that movie, they were making an asshole out of people who would wear blackface like that.
Sure.
Like, the whole joke was, what are you doing, dude? You know what I mean? Right. It was addressed.
Right.
Thank you, Joe.
Nah, thank you, boys.
I'll talk to you later. Lindsay. Ooh, Lindsay in Tennessee.
Hello.
Good morning, boys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I live in East Tennessee, so I'm probably going to get pegged either way. But when we were kids in the 80s, some of my best friends dressed up as Michael Jackson, the 80s Michael Jackson,
sure,
and wore total blackface, wig, and everything. And nobody thinks it's racial. I mean, it's funny how we've kind of done this for so many years, and it's all of a sudden, well, they're racist.
You know why growing up in the 80s helped you? Because everybody didn't need to fucking take photos. There was no Twitter. There was no digital cameras. It wasn't.
There was
like
Instagram, though.
I don't know if that was around yet.
It was.
Are you sure?
86.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know. It just feels like it's been around forever.
Yeah.
But these photos that you could take, a private party was actually just like a private thing.
Party, right?
And I think that's kind of fine. Like,
do you know how many videos? Speaking of what you're saying, how many porn videos you'll see that have they were shot on home video and you could tell they were in the late 80s, early 90s, and now they're online because people allowed themselves to be filmed like that, not realizing that was going to someday make it to fucking everybody's living room.
Right.
So yeah, back then you're right. You didn't have that worry of everybody, the whole country seeing it, and the news wouldn't have covered it in 1988.
No,
or 1990.
Because what you did.
And I understand that, but it's like, if we're looking at what people's intent is, even if it wasn't as visual to the country, people, we didn't think that it was anything racist. Everybody loved Michael Jackson, and these kids, my friends, they just want to dress up as their idol at that time. And, I get, we have to be sensitive because we don't want to just let it go and be finished with it. But it'd be like me getting mad at some dude dressing up as a girl making fun of girls, too, in a way,
Well, how much is it? I wonder, too, do you ever think to yourself, we've had this discussion, I remember on O&A we were talking about this, how much am I just invested in being stubborn and going, no, I won't?
Yeah.
Am I holding on to certain thoughts just because I hate political correctness so much?
Yeah, I think that we would follow that same argument that you just presented. We know what our intentions are, so we're not going to give an inch. When in reality,
we can give two.
That's right.
Thank you, Adrian.
When in reality, you can be like, okay, look, there is a real problem in the sense that the cultural Halloween costume list is becoming longer and longer and longer and longer, and you can't do anything.
Right.
But if we could take a step back, we could say maybe, all right, don't wear blackface because it's stupid and because everything you do ends up everywhere now anyway. So just Probably shouldn't do that anymore. That's very stupid.
Well, and there are certain times where I think people don't want to be bullied into, not bullied, that's the wrong word. People don't like to be fucking told what they can't do.
Yeah.
It's almost like if somebody asks you, like, yeah, I mean, that's really kind of offensive when you do that on a personal level. Like if your girlfriend or a friend asks you not to, you're more likely not to do it.
Right.
Like if Travis really got hurt by those stupid jokes, we'd do them, but I would feel a lot worse about them.
Right.
It'd be very hard not to do them, but I wouldn't do them.
Right. Dennis Falcone came to me and he said, Sam, please stop making references to me self-sucking. And he said it's literally the only thing that bothers me. So I made far fewer references. I can't say I quit cold turkey, and obviously I just brought it up.
I quit cold turkey with self-sucking references.
But I did make fewer references.
Well, maybe because Danny has kids. He doesn't want to see if his kids listen. He doesn't want to be talked about like that.
I mean, he also said that he's had more than one wedding gig where he's had to clarify that he doesn't touch kids before.
Oh, wow.
Because of what's been said.
Sure.
Sure, right?
It happens.
Sure.
It was a misunderstanding. Stole M&Ms.
We have a lot to do today. We have a special guest that's going to be calling in to give us some, it's an election guest.
Yeah.
To give us some insight on that. Also, I was going to tell you, I talked to Bobby, as I told you, over the weekend, and he told me, and I was so upset that we didn't find out about it as it was happening. He was in here on Thursday. It was Thursday, right?
I think so, yes.
And the entire time that Bob Kelly was on the show on Thursday, the whole time, he had a dirty red pair of underwear rolled up in his sweatpant leg. And he found it when he got in the car. Immediately after leaving, he found it. But the entire time, he had a dirty pair of his underpants rolled up in his sweatpant leg.
I would like to have known that.
Would that have made you happy if he had stood up halfway through the show and dirty underpants had fallen off of his pants?
It wouldn't have made me... I couldn't have been happier if they would photoed Bob in fucking thigh highs jerking off in an airplane cockpit. How great is that guy? The pilot?
Yeah. It was
British Airways.
Yeah, British Airways pilot. He's been suspended, which is total bullshit.
You know, sometimes you have to side with the airlines.
What?
Suspending the pilot who puts his feet up on the console in thigh highs and takes a picture of himself jerking off.
I like how this college kid got expelled from college.
Right.
For blackface, right.
And this guy just gets a suspension.
Yes, a good talking to.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe you shouldn't do that with 200 people at 30,000 feet.
Well, he's probably not that experienced. He's only 51 years old.
When do you do that, though? Where does somebody go that you're comfortable enough to take your pants? Oh, you know what? You have to buzz them back into the cockpit.
Oh, yeah, it's locked up.
But it doesn't matter. How, like, if you're buzzing your way to get back into the cockpit, I mean, Jesus, isn't there anybody in there with you?
And he did it twice.
Is there nobody in there with you?
How long does the co-pilot leave for? What's he going like? He's probably checking every time. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna hit the bathroom. Is it a number 1 or a number 2? I need to know."
But they send somebody in with you.
Do they?
They have to. What if the captain has a heart attack?
Yeah, I think Jim's right.
So open the door.
That might be an American thing, though.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, because otherwise he's got to be like, "Look, I need for you to go ahead, take a snooze. I need for you to put a blindfold, do something, because there's an exercise that I kind of have to do in the cockpit. There's a reason why they call it that."
Maybe the other guy that's fucking in there, like licking his balls or something, sucking his dick.
All right, well, you don't.
Why would you think that?
Because maybe the other guy was fucking down there, fucking nose deep in the belly button, eating his cum. Am I saying that too roughly for early?
Yeah, I don't understand where that would even
too roughly for early.
I couldn't get the words out.
Jim's so excited about this dick sucking talk that he can't form sentences.
Whoa, hey. Slow down.
What?
No, I'm a little tired because I did a gig last night and then I drove home from Philly.
Right.
And fucking, I packed and then I unpacked and packed immediately. And we're leaving at 10 we're playing best of.
And then you got all titillated.
To go to the airplane.
Reading this story, hoping.
Yes, I did.
This is why you sit up front, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So you can be a little closer to the cockpit, just in case a party breaks out.
Yeah. Just in case someone's tugging their prick in the cockpit.
This is what they said. A British Airways pilot has been suspended amid claims that he pleasured himself while wearing stockings in the cockpit. Oh, and they have to add this at 38,000 feet.
But you know what? Though I normally wouldn't. I would side against the media, but that might be pertinent. The danger of being distracted. I don't want my pilot jerking off in stockings.
Yeah, instead of just doing it while it's like taxied.
Yeah.
Bro.
Do all the refueling.
It's autopilot, bro. Like, once you're in the sky, you're good.
I understand.
All you need is a pilot to take off and land.
I bet that's what happened on that fucking Malaysian Airlines flight. The guy got all fucking lathered up, and then his heel kicked the wrong thing off, and the plane shut off and fell.
And he was trying to steer it, but his hands kept slipping because it was full of lube.
Look at the picture
and lotion.
I love how he can't get enough of his own thighs and the thigh highs. I own the exact same pair, and his fucking feet are wrapped right around the thing.
First of all, I have no faith in that airline equipment.
That really is ancient looking, but
that
they said
shit
that
looks like it was in the 70s.
My favorite part is his pants and his shoe at the bottom of the photo. Look at his shoe at the bottom, how he just slipped out of those pants. How funny is
yeah,
that?
there they are. I didn't even see the pants with the belt still in them.
He literally, this guy goes to take a shit, he slips out of them, tugs his dick, and then immediately puts them back on.
How quickly do you think he took his pants off once that door closed?
All right, be right back. Slip, legs up.
You think his co-pilots, like, they look at him because they can tell, like, when you look at his ankles, they're like, I think he's wearing stockings.
No, you don't look at someone's ankles. You're right, though. He probably has
because you get high waters in those pants.
Yeah.
And you'd notice, there's somebody that's noticed.
Maybe he has socks. Maybe he has socks on. Maybe they're stitched to his pants.
I don't think so, because I think he needs a quick slip. He needs a quick slip off. It's really gross. This picture, it's blurred out.
Why are they blurring that out?
In the private area. But you can tell, like, it's cut off before the dick starts. But all you'd see is the bottom of the balls and the top of the asshole. And dirty and hairy.
But they have the serial. The problem is there's a serial number. So they can tell that, like, when these flights were. Like, this was not in a simulator.
This is good, though. He's still steering the flight. Like, he's steering the plane with his feet.
He's probably better and he looks a little bit like me, a slimmer, older version of me, which is a bit hurtful.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
he does. He's a handsome guy. He's a handsome guy.
Like to tug my willy.
He's got a good body.
Love flying.
And now they're showing they show the cockpit. This was the scene of the crime where the man put on stockings.
Love propping my feet up, tugging my prick, tugging my willy.
What do you think he would say if, like, the stewardess walked in?
Oh, hold on. Hold on, love.
Right. We can wait on that.
That's really embarrassing. The shoe at the bottom of the picture is my favorite thing ever. I just noticed that.
It's so good. And his pants just piled up.
Oh, it's so great.
It was Captain Colin Glover. Captain Colin Glover, who's 51, was removed from flying duties.
Yeah, I'm trying to like prick. I can't even around his face. Fucking piece of shit.
It's Captain Colin Quinn.
I don't give a care.
It says after
when he was startled and he spilled his tea on his lap as he was dipping his corn muffin into it, all over his thigh highs.
He's suing the airline because he was trying to masturbate and their coffee was too hot. It says the bosses, after we alerted bosses to a series of sordid images, seemingly shot in a Boeing 777 on a long-haul flight, they reveal a pervy airman in stockings taking lurid selfies of his aroused manhood. Whoever wrote this article was just jerking off to his own language.
Absolutely.
He loved using his words.
Be a pilot, a badass pilot.
That's right. That's right.
So wait, how did they get the pictures? Who did he send it to? I bet he posted them somewhere, and the serial number gave them away.
Oh yeah, I bet that's right. It says other images show a pornographic magazine spread on the controls and explicit playing cards scattered around the cockpit.
What is it, 1980?
Yeah, the fucking nudie girl playing cards. What does he also have? One of those pens that if you turn it upside down, you watch the clothes come off?
Yeah, the lady's naked.
This is for the long flight. Serial numbers on the control panel suggest the pictures were taken aboard at least 2 separate British Airways planes.
How creeped out is this co-pilot? I bet you a lot of, moments are happening with the co-pilot.
That's what that was. That's what that was.
We don't have our food yet.
With his feet up. He just likes he's a man. And I'll tell you, they showed the porn, and it is ladies in the porn. It's straight dude porn. So he's just a guy that likes the way stockings feel against his legs.
That's it. A lot of guys like that. Ed Wood was like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys that will put on a pair of thigh highs and not feel like I want to be a woman. It just feels dirty and inappropriate with a pair of panties.
I like to wear women's clothes.
Yes, it makes me feel closer to them. I like putting on ladies' underwear.
So he just likes the way nylon feels against his skin.
You put on thigh highs, right?
No.
Oh.
What?
I just thought we were bonding.
No.
Oh, whatever.
No.
Don't judge. Don't be judgy.
I hope they let this guy come back. There's no way.
They can't.
Well, they know, too. He can't fly a plane without masturbating.
Plus,
There's
who the
no
fuck
way.
wants to hear the captain so-and-so? You're like, oh, guys, I think I got a jerk swap.
Ah, shit.
Oh, no, it's him.
No. His name wasn't Colin, was it? Colin Glover. It was a different Colin. It was... Oh, no.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
In a follow-up story, he's also in trouble for not wearing a seatbelt.
How are you going to wear a seatbelt while you're jerking off? You got to be comfortable.
No, I'm not kidding.
Wait, how is he throwing
because if there was turbulence and he got injured because he wasn't wearing a seatbelt,
it would have been a liability.
I wonder, but I wonder if you have to wear, I wonder if the rule is you have to wear a seatbelt while the other guy leaves.
I would assume that they have to wear a seatbelt at all times in case they hit turbulence and get injured.
Oh, boy, that's the worst part about being a captain. Just when we thought it was easy breezy.
Yeah, that's the thing that's going to keep you from doing it.
And he's like, guys, I understand I wasn't wearing my seatbelt, but it makes it very difficult to control the steering wheel with your nylon-covered feet if you're wearing a seatbelt.
He's finished.
He's trying to, justify. He's getting really mad. He's trying to justify everything. These are long flights, and you have to take off your seatbelt so you can control the steering wheel with your feet. Do I sound crazy?
There is no way to fix this.
No, he's trying, though.
A further sordid snap shows the man with his genitals exposed in a cabin's toilet. I don't mind that as much. If you're taking selfies while you're fucking taking a dump and you're jacking off, that's fine. But
you don't mind your pilot taking a nice masturbation break?
No, I don't care about pilot jerks off. Do what you got to do.
Right.
I have no issue with that. Wear thigh highs. I don't care. Fucking crank your dick over the sink.
Right.
Leave it there. Let those snooty people in first class wash their face in your load.
That's it.
Why am I being... Why? I didn't have to do that.
Right into the liquid soap dispenser.
No, so stupid.
There it goes. No, you're right. You want a clear-headed pilot.
No.
You want a guy who doesn't have anything else on his mind. Doesn't have anywhere better to be.
Yeah.
And that's what'll happen. We probably should take a break.
Yes, we should.
Because we have a guest coming up to help us with the election.
And we're going to be taking a plane ride together.
Oh, yeah.
All week in L.A. We land in L.A. today with like 3-something we get in, or 4.
Whoa, Jim. What do you want, a mob at the airport? Keep it under your hat.
I didn't say what airport.
Ooh.
I didn't say could be Long Beach.
That's right. Maybe it's Burbank.
Maybe it's Burbank.
I don't
Maybe
know.
we're zipping in to do the old Tonight Show in 2005. And we are going to we're going to hit some traffic though because the parade in LA.
There's another
Halloween. Well, there's a Halloween parade in LA. Big in West Hollywood.
When does it start?
I don't know, but I know you and I are going to run down to Santa Monica and make some friends.
By the way, we will be starting tomorrow live in LA every morning this week. We'll be starting the show live at 11 a.m.
We know that that's inconvenient for some people.
Not for us, though.
Yeah, we're trying. It's 8 a.m. LA time, but we're doing that just so we can get a couple of guests and the studio availability. You know, it works out to get people there.
Yeah, we're trying to plan some fun stuff. We're gonna do shows Tuesday through Friday. They'll be 11 a.m. East Coast, 8 a.m. West Coast. They'll replay the next day in the 8 a.m. hour. Or the 8 a.m. slot. And then we'll be doing a bunch of podcasts and stuff.
Yeah, we're doing some promotion. I'm doing At Midnight on Wednesday. We're just doing a bunch of promoting. And I have a Friday show at the Melrose Improv. Thank you, by the way, all the people that came out to Philly. The response to this show, and I really mean this, has been fucking tremendous.
That's awesome.
I thank the people for supporting the new show and Sam and myself. And it hasn't been a polite applause. People are very much enjoying it. So
that's great.
Thank you guys for coming out. And for those of you that want to come in Melrose, I've been enjoying this very much.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love hearing that.
TEF Cam going up for when we're gone. People demand it.
Yeah, we're not going to do it today.
Oh, when you're in LA?
Yeah. We're not going to do it today because we want you to anticipate it a little bit. But starting tomorrow, I think we'll definitely have the TEF Cam Live going up at facebook.com/Jim and Sam Show, which is the same for Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube.
And we want Travis Teft to be verified.
You do?
Yeah, we do. We
Good.
think it's important.
I do too.
That'll show her.
Hey, who needs you, Mom?
Yeah. You've got a boy who's been verified.
Yeah. I bet we can get that done.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, we got to prove who he is. I don't even believe who he is half the time.
That's right. That's right.
Allegedly, Travis Teft.
He's the one verified Teft. Oh, your dad, the radio legend, would be so pissed off he never got verified.
He's not on social media.
Yeah,
he
well,
work his smartphone.
I doubt that. He's the radio legend. He's got to talk to his audience. Right? Yeah. We'll be back with more Jim Norton and Sam Roberts right after this. And good Monday morning. It's Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
I got the Mondays.
What does that mean?
I don't know. By the way, do we have any calls or no?
We do.
Oh.
If you want to call the show, you can call 866-969-1969. If you want to tweet us, it's at Jim and Sam Show. And we're going to do a little election talk this morning on the show. You know, a lot of stuff happening. Some people are saying that this is the most important election in a lot of people's lifetimes, especially the young people's. Well, to give us a little insight on everything that's been going on, ladies and gentlemen, on the phone with us, the one and the only Ken Bone. Ken, are you there?
I'm here, Jim. Sam, how you doing this morning?
Great,
Hey.
Ken Bone. How are you?
I couldn't be better.
Let me start with this question that I think is on everybody's mind. Are you wearing the sweater?
No, I'm laying in bed right now, so I don't sleep in it. It's got to get washed sometime.
What are you wearing?
You don't want to know. Your listeners don't want to talk about it.
That's probably right. How often would you say you wear the red sweater?
Every time I go out and do any charity appearances or media interviews or anything, I'm wearing it. So almost every day.
I see. We follow you along on Twitter. How did the dinner with I think it was Grandma go over the weekend? You said that was a media blackout day.
Yeah, I didn't do any media that day. The only thing I did was I went to my local police department in my hometown where my grandma still lives. Took some pictures with them, and then it was off to Grandma's house. We'd made chili. We just hung out with my grandma, my Uncle Scott, my dad, my wife, just sitting in the backyard drinking beer and eating chili. And then it was off to Olympica Bar here in Shiloh, where I don't remember exactly what I was doing. I think it was a costume contest of some kind, but it all gets fuzzy by the end.
Well, I tell you this, it's Halloween. Speaking of costumes, I'll bet there'll be quite a few little Ken Bones coming up to the door. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, I hope they don't get high cholesterol from their commitment to the costume. Picking up 100 pounds to dress as Ken Bone is not an easy thing to do.
You're so bad, Ken. So the people want to know, are you still not sure who you're voting for in this upcoming election?
I've come to a decision. I'm just not telling anybody who I'm voting for. I want the discussion to continue to be about getting out and voting and making your voice heard.
Nice.
As soon as I tell everybody who I'm voting for, then the discussion becomes about who's that fat guy from St. Louis voting for.
Oh, Ken, I don't think anybody's saying that.
Well, they're not, because I'm not telling them.
Smart. We want to go to some calls here to talk to Ken Bone on our election special here this morning. Our phone number is 866-969-1969. You want to take a call or two, Ken?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, great. Let's start with line 4, and that looks like Steve from Yellowstone. Steve, are you there?
Hello?
Yes, Steve, it's Jim Norton and Sam Roberts, and you're on the phone with Ken Bone.
Hello, is this Ken? It's hard to hear. Sorry about that.
Yeah, Steve, how you doing? This is Ken.
I'm good. I just wanted to know, when you were doing the whole question thing, did you know that you were going to become so famous? I was just wondering if you kind of knew that or if you anticipated that.
No, I thought maybe my local paper would want to take my picture the next day.
I'd rather wear a song belt than that shitty sweater.
What?
I figured that would be it.
This guy likes to fuck pregnant women.
Oh, come on. Somebody,
This guy
can you not hang up?
Load.
I think Steve in Yellowstone is having a stroke.
Yeah, I'm going to hang up on him. This is, I tell you this, Ken, the magic of live radio, am I right?
It happens.
Let me ask you this. What did you think of the answers that the candidates were giving as you sat there? Of course, Ken Bone became very famous for being on the debate stage and getting to ask those questions. What did you think of the responses that the candidates gave?
I didn't think either one of them were, that bad. I just wish that Donald Trump would have said a little more about environmental protection. I know that's not high on his docket. Right. And I wish Secretary Clinton had gone into a little more specifics about how we're going to transition fossil workers into the renewable energy economy. And it's not exactly the same job. It's going to take a big training program.
Do you think that, with the energy plan, do you think that Hillary was more on point with that, or do you think that Trump had a better take on it?
Secretary Clinton's energy plan is probably a little more in line with mine. Which is an odd thing to say because I know that Donald Trump is probably better for the coal industry. He's better for my job prospects.
Right.
But, we care about the environment, too. We got to breathe the same air and drink the same water as everybody else.
So you're kind of a long-term guy. You're not looking for those short-term solutions.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to be long-term when you're an elected official and you got to worry about getting reelected in 4 years and you're trying to solve a 30-year problem.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I think we may have our phone issue taken care of. Honestly, we may have to look at... Did we replace the screener?
Yes. Okay.
So if you want to call, it's 866-969-1969. That screener's gone. Obviously, he didn't know what he was doing. Let's go to Paul, who's calling in from Schenectady, New York. Of course, here at Jim Norton and Sam Roberts, we're heard nationwide and in Canada. Paul, welcome to the show. You're on the phone with Ken Bone.
Hello. Hey, get me?
Yeah, Paul. Do you have a question for Ken Bone?
Yeah, I just think it's kind of the whole thing that's happening. But I wanted to ask, during the debate, did you feel like Donald Trump was disrespectful to Hillary? I felt like he was being disrespectful and unprofessional and talking to her like she had done something wrong when she was at the mall.
Well, bringing out Paula Wilson and the other Bill Clinton accusers might have been kind of a low blow. It didn't really have much to do with the issue.
Ken Bone out of the sector, even though nobody wants to fuck him. Only an idiot would forge documents to keep a pizza job.
Yeah.
He likes to fuck.
Only an idiot would try to keep his job to feed his family. You fuck.
Good for you, Ken.
To the Yellow Submarine album cover.
Hang up. Thank you. Thank God. Good for you, Ken, sticking up for yourself. Have you gotten a lot of that? Have people been crazy?
I got a family to feed, Jim. Hey, are we going to have some actual questions, Jim? I kind of want to go back to bed with my beautiful wife, who is the one who does want to sleep with me.
She does, right?
So I'm going to have to let you guys go.
Well, let me ask you.
All right, thanks a lot, Jim. No, we're done. Have a good one.
That's it? Oh, Ken Bone had to go.
I'm not an idiot. I realize.
Oh, Ken, you're still there.
Schenectady and Yellowstone are the same place. See you, Jim.
Ken, before you go, tell me
why did he hang up?
I don't know. He started to feel like two of the pranksters that got through were the same person.
Oh,
and
you can't control who calls in.
That's what I tried to tell him, but he didn't want to hear that.
Okay.
Plus, I think the last one especially, they were bringing up specific instances about, I'm sure Ken doesn't like that everybody knows that he got a vasectomy.
Well, he talked about it, didn't he?
On Reddit, though. On Reddit. Oh. Yeah. By the way, Jim, I need a little help sometimes. You were just sitting here during that interview.
You were doing a good job.
Question.
The problem is, I did ask a question, but the problem is I'm not going to jump in when it's going well.
Oh.
And it's when that guy calls in, what am I going to do?
Yeah,
I'm not going to, I don't like to interrupt you if you got a good, to be honest, I didn't really know what to ask him. I asked him the one question, but I'm like, all right, what else?
Yeah, politics isn't your...
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of bummed. He's not mad, is he? Because that wasn't...
Why would he be mad?
Yeah, that wasn't...
Have you any times I've gotten yelled at on the phone?
Yeah, I can't imagine... I can't imagine that Ken Bone would be upset by that. Although he did refer to one of the callers that got through as "you fuck." So that was nice. I like that. Yeah, I like that. One of the callers who was criticizing him for insurance fraud. Did he admit it to?
Did he admit to it?
He admitted to it on Reddit. And one of the callers brought it up. And he said, yeah, only an idiot would feed his family. You fuck.
Well, did he say that only an idiot would forge insurance documents to keep a pizza job?
Something like that. Something like that. Wait, so we do have correspondence from Ken Bone?
Yeah, he emailed D-Bag.
What did he? Oh, poor D-Bag. He's not having a good.
This is Derek's big booking.
Yeah, D-Bag asked if we wanted Ken Bone on Friday, and we said we'd love to talk about the election with Ken Bone. What do you have to say, D-Bag?
He said, "Thanks for keeping it classy."
Okay, so that was sarcastic, you think?
I guess so. I don't know what he thought happened there. We can't control the callers, so I'm going to email him back and say I'm sorry. I guess the callers were a little off the rail today.
They're like that all the time, though.
Yeah,
I know.
It's hard to control. We just want to make it an interactive experience, and sometimes it gets difficult.
I'm glad he stuck up for himself
when he said "you fuck."
Yeah,
you fuck.
Did you hear that?
I did. Yeah.
And I see that. Okay, good. On Twitter right now, we're sending out a nice thank you to Ken Bone. So that'll be good. That'll be good. I'm glad that he's still out there getting through all the riff-raff and rigmarole, and he's getting his message across about getting out there and voting.
Ken's a good egg.
Ken's a good guy.
You know.
Yeah. I would have loved to have asked him about his volume. If you remember, he said the volume of his load remained unaffected.
Yeah.
That was the last question that I had for him.
Yeah.
He unfortunately hung up before I got a chance to ask him about that. But I feel like we got a lot accomplished.
Yeah.
What do you a lot of Trump supporters especially are flipping out, happy, celebrating because the FBI is relaunching
the
their
Hillary investigation. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I have to believe that the emails, first of all, our guy Anthony Weiner just will not stop.
He just won't stop ruining things.
No, he just ruins everything. Huma left him. And Hillary's like, okay, Huma, you can stay. Now, the FBI, they take Anthony Weiner's computer. They're going through it because they're investigating the kid stuff. Remember the last Anthony Weiner scandal? He's accused of texting with a 15-year-old. He sent a sex text, a fucking picture of his dick with his baby in the picture with him. So the FBI seized his computer. And as they're going through it, they realize that all of his emails are saved on his computer. Like they're not on a server, they're on the actual PC. And they find something like 600 of Hillary Clinton's emails saved on this thing. And they don't know, because you remember, how many did she delete? 3,000 or something like that?
33,000.
33,000.
Yeah.
So they don't know what's on there. They don't know if it was stuff that they missed before. They don't know if it was stuff that she deleted before. But they're picking through it all now. My instinct is it's probably 600 emails they've already seen before.
Right.
Nothing's come of it since. I think that dropped on Friday. That announcement came on Friday.
Well, they knew about it a while before then.
Yeah.
I think they knew about that a while before then.
So then why are they just... This election cycle is so fucking strange.
Yeah.
If they knew about it a while before then, why did they wait till just now? Why did they wait until a week before the election to finally tell people, okay, there's more emails and we're going through them? Or to reopen the investigation?
I don't know.
It's weird.
It's fucking weird, man.
It's weird.
Are they just protecting her, or is there just really nothing there?
Well,
the reason that I read is...
The reason...
Did I say that right?
No, you did.
Oh, okay. Is that if the FBI hadn't come out and said, look, we're doing this, then somebody found out after the election.
Then it's rigged.
Then it looks like they're covering up.
Yeah.
They're not being honest and saying, so that's their reasoning. And, the FBI director apparently just found out, last week, but even though they've been, doing this for a few weeks now, they finally brought it to his attention and then he said something.
Oh, well, yeah.
Now they have to go through like 650,000 emails on this laptop.
Yeah, so that won't take long.
No.
Let's read this one, this one, this one. It's so crazy, though, that, just when you think somebody's proverbial goose is cooked, that there's something else. Like, they go, oh, why would you wait until 2 weeks before the election to release the pussy grab audio?
Right.
Because in a week, we're going to release that we're reinvestigating Hillary Clinton's emails. I mean, I'm assuming that there will be stuff happening this entire week. Just crazy, weird shit of people trying to get in those last-ditch efforts. Because the reality is that Donald, right now he's down in the polls, but all he needs is the right news story, and all of a sudden he's winning. There's really not that many people that are so locked in. You know what I mean?
Right.
And people even the people that are locked in acknowledge that Hillary is a crook. Everybody kind of knows that. So if you can really prove it, he could still win. I might have been wrong. Mitch in Colorado.
How you doing?
Good.
Hello, Mitch.
Hello.
How are you, buddy?
Yeah, good.
Hey.
Yeah.
Good. How are you guys?
Good.
Good. Hey, first off, love your show.
Thank you.
But yeah, it's actually 650,000 emails.
Oh, geez, that's a fuckload
How
more.
many did you say?
65,000.
Oh, I think you said 650.
No.
Yeah, it is 650.
600.
I think you said 650.
I thought you did, Sam.
No, I think you just said 650.
I don't think I said 650.
I got the number, but then again, I'm always I know the numbers.
I think I said 6,500. I knew it was in the thousands. I didn't know it was 650,000 emails.
Yeah, that's why they're not going to be getting any answers here like before the actual election.
Well, they can do fucking word searches. Believe me, they can.
That's what they're saying. They're doing everything in their power.
What's the first keyword search you would do?
First keyword search I'd probably do Benghazi.
That's so smart.
Bombs.
Cigar.
Okay, guys, I'm checking out.
Cigar.
Thank you very much.
I'll talk to you later.
Man.
Bitch. Just look for dirty words so you can find when Hillary Clinton was cursing. Yeah. So all right, 650,000, that's a lot more. But still, you've got 8 days. They're going to go through them, but I can't imagine even at the last minute. Then there's other reports that there's going to be another big WikiLeaks drop.
They keep saying that, but none of those seem to hurt.
I know. And I don't even know what they're going to find in the emails.
Even though I've been mentioned in them.
Yes, you have.
Yes.
Yes, you have. Because you were on Fox News, right?
That's right.
That's right. Do you put that on your resume now? As talked about in WikiLeaks.
Yeah, the WikiLeaks key.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I can't, and I can't even imagine all these emails. They'll go through them, and I'll bet they'll be able to get it done before Election Day. They'll fucking...
No, they already said they won't be able to.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's going to be long after that.
So what difference will it make at that point?
None.
Donald Trump can't put her in jail anyway if he's not the president.
That's a good point.
But I don't think they'll... I think even if they do find stuff, it'll be like, the American public just isn't responding to any of the WikiLeaks stuff, to any of the emails. Some people are. I'm not saying nobody is, but in general, in the grand scheme of things, people are not really worried about it. I think because it comes across, it's like the shady shit is such politics as usual.
Right.
That the people that are voting for Hillary are doing it regardless of all that.
Yeah, maybe.
So I don't know that it'll help anybody if they find stuff in these emails. It should, but I don't think it will.
You don't think it's going to affect people who want to vote for her?
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be enough to shy them away. And the reason is because Donald Trump is so, Donald Trump. That's a big leap to go from Hillary Clinton to Donald Trump. There'd have to be something terrible in those emails, and I don't think there is.
Yeah, I don't think there is either.
I think it's just normal political stuff where she comes across as two-faced, where she's lying about stuff, whatever it is. But I don't even think if there's the truth about Benghazi, people accept that she was lying about Benghazi. Like, what do you need? Evidence that she was lying? People are already like, yeah, she's probably lying about it. And they're still voting for her. So let's go to Marty in Seattle. Marty, welcome to Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hey, the Department of Justice asked the FBI director not to publicize this. And he did anyway. That came out.
Oh, really? Because they didn't want any negative Hillary stuff
you think
out
that was
there?
after Bill Clinton's meeting on the airplane?
Yes, his mysterious 45 minutes on the airplane.
Getting to the bottom of it.
I did want to say one thing as far as the Benghazi thing. I think everybody's blowing that so out of proportion. It's just beyond me. I was in the service when the barracks in Lebanon went down and 200 kids got killed. And there was no investigation on that. And there was a Republican president. I didn't hear bullshit about that. But yet you hear this small little bullshit Benghazi, and everybody's going nuts over it.
Yeah, I think it's just because she if it comes out that she is specifically lying, knowingly lying
fibbing
about this. She's fibbing. She's going out of her way to fib about something like that.
Yeah, I get you. But
yeah, and
it's not actually lying. It's just that her position is that her underlings didn't do their job.
Well, you're only as good as your team. You know?
That's right.
You know, you're only.
That's why we're terrible.
That's right. That's 100% right. D-bag, we're looking at you. Let's go to Joe. Poor D-bag. What did he say in there?
What did he say?
I love D-bag. Joe in Connecticut.
How many of those emails which are sent aren't already or have already been read on the other end as received?
Possibly. I mean,
half of them.
It could be all of them, honestly.
So like nothing new is my prediction.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. Let's go to Clay but depending on who you talk to about it, like when this information first broke, anybody that is a Trump supporter is walking around going like, no, don't you get it? Anthony Weiner just handed Donald Trump the election. It's over.
Yeah, they really do act like it's a wrap.
Yeah, they do.
But fucking Weiner, do you think that the Hillary's campaign is annoyed with him?
She fucking hates him.
Do you know how tired of him she must be?
Like, Anthony Weiner brings about the same feelings. She thought the level of hatred that she had for, like, Linda Tripp, she thought she would never feel again.
I wonder if she hated Linda or maybe she liked Linda for fucking at least...
no, because she didn't... I bet she didn't give a fuck if Bill was, fucking the intern. But what she hated was Linda making it public.
And everyone knowing,
Yeah, they're a power couple.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, they
Same
fuck.
thing with Bill Cosby's. Yes.
Yeah, no. And the reason why I know that is because I watch House of Cards.
Oh, good. I hear that's a terrific program.
Frank and Claire Underwood, they're cool. Like, if Frank Underwood even has a little, like, kind of gay thing going on, and they don't care. Whatever. You didn't catch it? You haven't caught a gay vibe from him on that show?
No, I haven't watched it, but now I'm intrigued.
Oh, yeah, there's a little. Adrian, you've caught a gay vibe from him on that show, right? Remember with the author? There was some weirdness.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And the one agent, his...
Yes.
Oh.
They don't care. They're a power couple.
Yeah.
You can fuck whoever you want. But no fucking snitches. Snitches is the enemies. And that's Linda Tripp. She thought she was done hating people on a Linda Tripp level after that wildebeest kind of left the public eye. And here comes Anthony Weiner. She's going to kill him. She has to.
She's got to be, every time his name pops up, it's he's cheating, and then he's texting, and then he's texting again, and with the picture, and then then this with the kid, and then there was just a 15-year, it's just fucking Carlos Danger. It's non-stop.
Did you see Joe Biden's reaction when he found out that it was Anthony Weiner's computer?
No, what did he say?
It's just so natural. He's just like because he was talking to a reporter.
Yeah.
And the reporter said, these are allegedly coming from Anthony Weiner's computer. And he goes, oh, God.
You think they've all had enough of Weiner?
They're just so sick of him.
Every Democrat hates Anthony Weiner. They're like, why won't he just go away? And then...
He can't stop wrecking things.
And then Hillary's got to be like, Huma, why the fuck would you take part in that documentary? Like, what are you doing?
At the time, she had to save it. Maybe Hillary even recommended she do it to save the marriage and put on the face. They didn't probably think he was going to keep doing it.
And then the thing comes out, the movie comes out, and he's sitting there. I mean, have you seen the doc yet?
I have not.
The movie's really good. He's sitting there, like, getting into arguments, having Ken Bone moments with people on TV, like Lawrence O'Donnell brought him onto MSNBC. And the first question to Anthony Weiner was, what's wrong with you? And he just he went on the attack on him.
Right.
And then Anthony Weiner started firing back. The next morning, they showed it. He's sitting there at the computer watching his interview gone wrong. Like, he's sitting there watching himself fight with the news anchor. And he's like, Huma, he's trying to get Huma to watch it with him. And Huma's like, what are you doing, Anthony? What are you doing?
Yeah, he really is in love with himself. He's a real ass.
He really is. Really is. I love him, though.
So he fought with
yeah, this is from a while back, but
over the course of the campaign, for me, it just comes down to this, which is, what is wrong with you?
I don't understand the question. What is wrong with me that I care so much about the issues that I fight for every day, that I have my entire career?
No, what I mean is this. What is wrong with you that you cannot seem to imagine a life without elective office?
That's ridiculous. Of course I can. I don't know. Are you saying that because I have things in my personal life that are embarrassing, I shouldn't run for office? Okay, that's a fair position to have. Some people have it.
Let me be clear. No, I'm not. Let me be very clear.
Lawrence, so let's work a little harder at that.
I'm going to be very clear to you. I'm going to be very clear to you now. I have never once criticized you in any way for anything involving your texting. I think your photography is just perfectly standard American photography that's floating around the internet now. I've never said anything about that. Okay. What I find strange about your campaign is what seems to be your absolute desperate need for elective office and what seems to be your inability to live outside of it. What did you do, for example, with your time away from elective office? Did you find
that's kind of a shitty question because anybody running is like that.
They're obsessed.
Any of them are obsessed.
And by the way, the only reason anybody's a news anchor is because
exactly. What are you doing?
They're
an
an egotist.
Eye.
Yeah, because they want to be the one to deliver the news. They want their face on the television.
Yeah.
But the point is, like, this interview didn't go well.
I would have said, like, I just love helping and giving to everyone.
And they go, well, then why are you taking photos of your dick next to your baby?
That was before that.
So that wouldn't have come up.
No, it wouldn't have. That would have been really a good. Imagine if he asked that question and years later, like, we shouldn't have fired that guy. It was a good question.
But he's at home now, but that's like what he's watching. And he's like prideful of himself because he's like, I hit him back. Yeah, I hit him back. He really is more of a narcissist, at least outwardly. He might be the same level of narcissist that the rest of them are, but he has no tact. He has no representative of himself. You know what I mean? He can't help himself. He's all instinct, this guy. All instinct and dick is Anthony Weiner. It's embarrassing. It's really embarrassing.
Exactly. Who needs the instinct? Right or wrong?
Let's go to Clay in Gainesville. Clay.
Your phones are fucked up today.
No, I hit the wrong
That
phone.
caller really sounded like Steve from Yellowstone. That was a good one.
You liked him?
Yeah, he was. What an impression.
It was a good impression, right?
Yeah.
And the other guy, I don't know who Paul in Schenectady was. He sounded like kind of a creepy.
There was an Uncle Paul impression.
Oh, I didn't even pick up on that. Somebody doing an Uncle Paul impression.
Very well done.
Now that you think, I'll listen back to it, the replay right after this, but I think you're right.
I think so.
I think you're right. Clay.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hello, Clay.
Sam.
Yeah.
How you doing? Sam, you're saying it's not affecting, but the polls do seem to be tightening up, and it was a tight race to start with. I think there is some effect.
So you think, I get it, maybe you're right. Maybe it's like the news and the mainstream media is acting like it's not, this is nothing, we're not even going to talk about it. But Trump is doing what Trump's always done, and he's appealed to the people directly. And that maybe there are people. There have been more people. The media's gone crazy for sure in this election cycle, but I also feel like there are more people ignoring the media than ever before.
Yeah. I don't disagree. I have no clue what's going to happen next Wednesday.
We're being cynical about them. I don't know if they're ignoring them or just being very cynical.
Like they're doing they're specifically doing the opposit of what they say.
I wonder what Obama does for the next week. Like, what do you do when you have 1 week left to be president?
Well, no, he's president until January.
Oh, yeah.
You fucking History 101 douchebag.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know.
President-elect, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, fifth grader. Let's well, class, today we'll find out.
Yeah, I probably should have realized that. January is the inauguration.
Do that mean that Donald Trump is president today? No, Jimmy, not today, not just yet.
I made a mistake.
How great would that be?
But what do you do your last week?
If Obama's putting his feet up on the desk, he's like, I got 1 more week. And they're like, Barry, you're here until fucking January, you idiot.
Yeah, what do you do, though, your last week as president? Like do you just, like,
if you're the Clintons, you fucking load up moving trucks full of White House furniture.
Did they take all the furniture?
They took all the furniture. They left the whole place a mess.
Awesome.
There were so many stories when Bush took office. No, the furniture was gone. There was garbage everywhere. The walls were dirty. Wild Bill threw himself a little party. There was fucking Domino's boxes in the kitchen.
But wait, why didn't wasn't there a staff to clean it up? Did they get somebody? You have to hire your own fucking moving staff?
And they probably, I don't know. They came in though, and it was dirty, and they took all the furniture with them. You didn't know that the Clintons took the furniture?
I had heard the lamps and stuff, but I didn't know all the furniture.
Yeah, they took a bunch of the furniture. They got a U-Haul, and they said, well, if we're moving, we better take our furniture. President Clinton, that's actually not your furniture. Okay, buddy, okay. Load up the furniture, pal. And they just let him go. It says the Clintons volunteer. Okay, claim the Clintons were forced to return an estimated $200,000 in furniture, china, and art they stole from the White House. Mostly false.
See?
What's true is the Clintons voluntarily returned or paid for some gifts due to disputes over whether they had been given to the Clintons. So they took it. They took it, and then they got home, and they were like, oh, I thought you get to take it home after you're done with it.
Well, so how much did it cost?
That's my bad.
How much? Because they said that they didn't know, they weren't forced to return any gifts, and it was much less than what, Adrian? I can't read that.
200,000.
Less than 200,000. Oh, it's over 100,000.
Yeah. Much less than 200,000.
I like how they phrased it as a dispute.
Yeah. It was just a weird miscommunication.
It was one person saying, "Hey, you can't take that," and it was them saying, "No, yeah, I think we can."
I think. Listen, you better head down to the Library of Congress and check that Constitution, because I'm pretty sure the president gets to take his shit with him.
Yeah, don't you? I would assume you get to take most of it, except for the big rug with the fucking eagle on it. I guess you got to leave that there. You have to leave the eagle rug in the desk.
They're trying to pull the... No, it's on part of the floor.
You can't take that. You can't take the desk. Reagan sat at it. Do you think they use a different desk for a president, or the same desk?
I think it's the same desk.
Pretty sure it's the same desk.
It needs a replacement. It's the same everything. That's the Lincoln bedroom. They don't change that shit out.
Yeah, unless somebody takes the furniture.
Well, somebody takes the furniture, yeah. Although, Bubba, when he was president, he was probably breaking some springs in the mattresses. They probably had to get a new box spring for W.
Let me ask you, the Lincoln bedroom is that one he slept in, or is that just named after him?
I'm pretty sure it's the one Abraham Lincoln slept in.
Okay.
I think so. That would be my... That's
I want a White House tour. Let's get the Jim and Sam show. Let's go to a fucking White House tour.
You mean Jim Norton and Sam Roberts take Washington?
Ooh. I like it.
We should go. By the way, and those of you wondering, I should make mention real quick, I just saw D-Bag in the hallway. You remembered that we were wondering at the beginning of the show whether or not that girl had actually pressed her ass cheeks up against the window. I confronted her in the hallway with D-Bag right there, and it appears that she did not. We were correct. That was a made-up story.
She was lying.
She was lying, yeah. It was a joke. But D-Bag, he thought it was real.
Stupid D-Bag.
Stupid, right?
Naive boy.
Lincoln bedroom was used as his office.
Fuck room?
His office.
Yes, the Lincoln fuck room.
Yeah. He had his office, though, but it was like Letterman's office. Like, why does Letterman have a bed in his office? Oh, Lincoln likes to take naps. Don't worry. Send the intern up there.
Yeah. I think Lincoln was dumping loads in there.
Oh, yeah.
While Mary ate the carpet in the other room. That bad shit crazy idiot.
Why do you think you like chewing on the end of that pipe so much?
Yeah.
What do you think he was sticking it in?
Girls' heinies.
Oh, yeah.
Chewing, or is just chewing it because he was frustrated and needs to come?
Yeah. The Lincoln bedroom. That's where he fucked.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
Attaboy.
So you do? You want a White House tour?
I do.
You want to see what it's like?
I want to go to the West Wing. Oh, look, don't fire us, Mr. President Trump.
I don't think that they'll let you go to the West Wing.
Why not? I'm not a criminal. I'm a good citizen.
I think it's like when you go to Graceland. Like, you can't go upstairs.
I was upstairs. I went to Graceland and I was upstairs.
How'd you get upstairs?
I lied.
About getting upstairs?
Yes.
So you weren't upstairs?
No.
Oh. Well.
I just wanted to be cool.
Well, you can't go upstairs when you're
I know. My manager, David, has been upstairs. Jonathan's boss, David, has been upstairs because they had Elvis's catalog at one time, and he got to go upstairs.
He got to go upstairs?
He did, yeah.
Oh.
I don't know how.
I've been downstairs.
The family doesn't live up there, I don't think. I don't think there's anything happening up there.
How was the body still up there on the toilet?
No. Is it?
Yeah.
No. But Elvis is up there. Fucking dumb people think he's still up there fatting around.
He's probably still up there. Let's go to Rich in Vermont. What's up, buddy?
What's going on? So I'm just listening to you guys talk about if this FBI thing is going to affect the election. And I saw a poll today. 30% people say that they're less likely to vote for her based off of this story. So
30%? That's big.
Yeah. So if either of these candidates lost 30%, it would be a landslide. I mean, it is a close election. So.
Yeah, I've heard one point.
You've heard 1%?
I've heard it's a 1 point lead, she has.
Oh, right now?
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you hear that?
Just thought it was on 1010 Wins or so, or just some radio station I was listening to.
I think this is one where the polls are probably less reliable than they ever have been. I still think Hillary Clinton will win. I'm not going to vote for Hillary Clinton. I still
Stop saying Clinton perfectly.
I'm sorry that I have pleasant diction.
You don't. It's not pleasant diction.
I still think she'll win. I think she'll win. I don't think it'll be a very complicated election night. I think she'll probably win handedly.
Handily.
But
it's not handedly.
It's not?
No, not at all.
Okay.
It's handily.
All right, so we all learn new lessons on the show.
Yeah.
But I would like to see. I'm probably not going to vote for Hillary or Donald. But if I'm watching that television set and Donald is winning on election night, I will be happy. Because just the idea of the whole establishment burning down, that's fun. It's funny.
It is. It certainly is. The establishment.
Yeah.
Yeah, watching it go down.
Yeah.
Nice.
See, what are you laughing at?
I have a feeling that our lives would get worse if the establishment went down, though.
You think so?
Everything would be disorganized.
It'd be more difficult for sure.
It would be very hard.
It'd be tough.
I like the establishment. It helps me.
You like that everything is, there's a certain order to everything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
Traffic lights work.
Chip doesn't like the establishment.
No, he does not. Do you remember that song?
Yes, I do.
Did you like it?
No,
How does the song go?
Travis?
I don't remember. I can find it, I'm sure.
Because it's on your phone?
Yeah, it's on
your
text. Best of Chip.
That's all Chip.
Nope. By the way, you need to be personally invited for a West Wing tour.
By who?
By either the president or you have to know somebody in
Congress.
No,
No, Congress, if you put a letter or something, the president doesn't invite you to a West Wing tour.
He could.
You have to have a personal connection to like a White House staff member or something.
I want a West Wing tour.
Yeah, so maybe somebody's a fan.
No, you don't know anybody in the White House.
Oh,
I do.
Don't be so dismissive.
He doesn't know
Military
anybody.
guys.
Nah, you don't know him.
They're not White House staff members.
Yeah.
Some of them might be like stand guard there. Oh, staff member, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's a different deal. That was my
Secret
favorite.
Service? I have a lot of Secret Service fans.
That was my favorite part of the. No, he doesn't have any.
I do, a lot.
He doesn't have any.
How many fans will be talking to the wrist? I'm like, what are you doing? Like communicating with the president.
They will?
Yes.
Do they have a code name for you?
Yes, they do.
What's the code name?
Limp Angel.
Because you're sweet and constantly flaccid.
Yes.
That was my favorite part of the Elvis Meets Nixon movie that they did. That they showed Elvis finally getting this meeting with Nixon.
Yes.
And the process. And I trust the movie because that's when Nixon was wiretapping everything that happened in the White House. So they used real recorded conversations to write the script. So they made Elvis go through all the rules of how you talk to the president, how you walk in the room, where you stand, what you wait for the president to say, whether you eat this or blah, 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 everything. There's a jar of M&Ms. You do not eat the jar of M&Ms. They will put a bottle of Dr. Pepper in front of Richard Nixon, which, by the way, when I found out Nixon loved Dr. Pepper and M&Ms, I was like, he's the greatest president of all time.
Who doesn't?
But they go, you do not drink the Dr. Pepper. That is the president's Dr. Pepper. And all these rules. Elvis went in and just broke every rule. He just did it. They put down the bottle of Dr. Pepper. He was like, thanks, buddy. And he started drinking it. He dipped his big fat palms into the M&M's jar. He walked right in and sat down on the couch. He broke every
Was that one of the things,
rule
don't
of
eat the
respect.
M&Ms?
They said, do not eat the M&Ms. Those are the president's M&Ms. The president did not want Elvis's pilled out hands in his jar of M&Ms. But Elvis, he was too busy at that point in his life not giving a fuck about anything. So he just walked in because
that's a great picture, by the way.
He wanted
Elvis and Nixon.
He wanted the meeting because he wanted a badge. And he didn't want a replica badge. He wanted a real badge. He wanted to be one of the president's agents. And Nixon was like, get the fuck out of here. I'm not letting Elvis in here. And his guys convinced him that it would make him look good for young people.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, if they got that photo out. And then his daughter was such a fan, he wanted a photo signed by Elvis. So he put up with all this shit that Elvis was doing in his office, just not at all treating the president's office with any respect, just so he could get the signed photo for his daughter and take the fucking
So people think
picture.
that I'm a dick for pictures. He actually let someone into the Oval Office with a gun.
Yeah.
To get a sign. Why didn't he just say to give his daughter a photo with Elvis?
Well, I don't know. I guess probably his daughter was in school. That's important.
Well, she could have went for Elvis. She just went to a show and said, I'm Nixon's daughter.
There's the photo.
That's a great picture.
There's a story behind the photo, too. I think he might have said no photo. And then Elvis was like, let's take a photo. And he goes for it or something like that.
Oh, Nixon might have said no photo?
I believe there was a story behind the photo, too. I love that movie. Just because, Elvis was way too skinny in it. But just because the whole thing was such a fucking riot, watching Elvis go in there and just run the place.
That Elvis wasn't really fat, though. That was before he
No, but Michael
bloated.
Shannon is very skinny. He played, Michael Shannon, the guy from Boardwalk.
Of course.
Yeah. He's the one who played Elvis, and he was. Yeah, I would have liked him a little chubbier, but
okay.
But yeah, it was good. It was a good movie.
It's an interesting choice, him and Spacey.
Yeah, Spacey was good too. They were good. It was a good movie.
Did he sound like him?
It wasn't like the greatest impression you've ever heard in your life, but he got you believed it was Nixon. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it wasn't like Jamie Foxx did an impression of Ray Charles.
Yeah, good one.
It was great. It was great, but Kevin Spacey more just took on the role as
personality.
It were.
Okay.
Let's go to Rick in Horseman Country, Charlotte, North Carolina. What's up, Rick?
Hey guys, there's nothing better than Anthony Weiner talk with you two, and just a question for you. And
we're the biggest.
Even before,
people don't know this. Jim Norton and Sam Roberts are the biggest Anthony Weiner fans on the planet.
We're a couple of little wieners.
Would you, if he ran for office, would you vote for him?
Yeah, I'm writing him in anyway. He's not running.
We should write him in. Anybody that doesn't want Hillary or Donald, just write in Anthony Weiner.
He never got under 60% of the votes when he ran for Congress. Of course, that was before everything.
Yeah, but he ran for mayor and got 4% of the vote.
Right. Good point. Good point. But here's my question for you guys, and almost like what Jimmy was saying about Obama. Where does Weiner go from here? And this was my question even before the criminal stuff. So let's say, for argument's sake, he does 6 months in prison. I don't know. Maybe he gets probation. After that, what does Anthony Weiner do every day? He's unemployable. I mean, no one can hire him. He's a great, tactician. He'd be a great, think tank guy. He's great on the air. He can't do any of those things now.
He's not a behind-the-scenes guy.
No, he's not a behind-the-scenes guy. He likes to be in the forefront.
No, he likes to be the guy that everyone's working for. He's not probably good at sitting back and telling you how to succeed. He wants to succeed. So maybe he goes out and speaks. Like, I think the speaking circuit, where he has to write a book. But if he's going to write a book, it has to be honest. And it has to be like, look, I fucked up.
It'll never
here's
be.
Where I fucked up.
It'll never be. He's not that guy.
No, he's probably. He might have to be though. Like if he gets through all this, and his life is in shambles, and it's going to be in shambles. Just because of the nature of all the bad press,
right?
You got to just come out and do a mea culpa and go, look, I'm fucked up.
He would be a terrible mentor, wouldn't he be? He'd be the guy who's like trying to, when you're like a fucking pipsqueak, trying to teach you success and everything, and then the minute that you achieve anything, he just gets jealous and shitty and tries to destroy you.
Yeah, he's not a big. I don't think he's good at building other people up.
No, I'll tell you what I believe he'll do. If he ends up getting some kind of treatment, whether it's jail time, whether he has to go to some kind of rehab, whatever he does, if there ends up being that step where you do this and then you get done with it, he's going to consider himself recovered. And he's a young guy. He will run for office again. I promise. I believe in all my soul that Anthony Weiner is going to figure out whatever this step is, whatever the signal is that this step is over. As soon as he gets that signal, he's running for office again. He's too addicted to the power.
He can't until he fixes this mess.
Right.
He has to come out the other side of it totally.
So it's got to be jail or rehab or something that's a step.
And then it might be city council or something. That's a good point, because Marion Barry, you never thought, that's this guy's done.
Right.
And he was elected again.
Yeah. And Marion Barry was so good on Happy Days.
I don't know that Marion Barry was on Happy Days, Jim.
Oh.
I don't think Marion
it's
Barry.
Marion Ross.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's such a great topical reference, though. You know what, guys? Take that to the water cooler with you.
I can't think of any other Marions.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
That was the reaction to your joke.
No, this should have been. Name a famous Marion quickly.
Lady Diane Marion.
No, a famous one, not one that you hope dies.
Marilyn Monroe.
All right, fair enough. I stand corrected.
Let's go to Mike on Long Island. What's
Mike?
up, Mike?
Happy Halloween, boys.
Happy Halloween.
Hello.
There was a Newsday article that dropped this morning about that outlines 40 years of Trump and his corporation shredding documents and wiping email servers.
They're probably just making room.
Yep.
Hey, you can't. It's got to just be the media making it up, right?
No, I think the Trump Corporation, they've only got so much storage. They can't keep their documents all, so they clear everything out every now and then. They make a little room for the new documents.
That's actually what he said under oath. If you read the article, that's pretty funny.
That's amazing. That was the excuse. Well, good. I believe him. Thank you, buddy. I believe him.
Yeah.
He just needs to. That's the thing about business. You need to make a little room for what's next.
Yeah. Why would you lie about that? Sometimes you have all these files. They take up the whole room. You got to just get rid of them.
Yeah,
Instead of
Mr.
renting another
Trump.
room.
Yeah, we need more hard drives. No, just clear off the ones we got. We'll just reuse those.
Yeah.
That's why he's a good businessman.
We don't want to buy a new hard drive. See how much room that takes up?
Yeah.
Put that, fucking 10 terabyte hard drive. No one needs that.
No,
Get brand new ones.
You think that's what he was using?
Yeah.
Just a
little portables.
Just a little desktop 10 terabyte from Best Buy.
Little portables.
Yeah. He just cleared them off and then refilled them. Cleared them, refilled them. We should wrap this thing up because we have a plane to catch.
Yeah, we do.
We're for the next hour, we're going to play a segment from when Matt Serra was in with Rich Voss.
That was very funny.
And the two of us. That was a very fun show. There'll also be a little clip of my interview that I did with Sasha Banks on Friday afternoon. I had to tape it.
Okay.
So I brought the kind of non-wrestling centered stuff, and we'll put that on as part of the hour as well. There she is. No ass cheeks against the window.
No, not even looking in.
Huh?
Not even looking in.
Not even looking in. So tune in for the next hour. Tomorrow, we'll be live in Los Angeles starting at 11 a.m. Eastern, which will be 8 a.m. Pacific.
Yeah.
And I'm very much looking forward to it.
Me too.
You got any plugs, Jim?
No, just Melrose on Friday, and all my dates are up. I got Fort Lauderdale, Connecticut, Saratoga Springs, Doylestown, and then the taping. People haven't gotten the emails yet, but they'll come. I'm pretty sure that's gone, but we'll see.
You know, it's a great video. D-Bag put it up on the YouTube page over the weekend. It's a full segment. It's a full hour video of when Bobby Kelly was in, and we were talking about the Trump story and that whole thing. So if you want to see what the radio show looks like, you can watch it.
It's really good, really hot.
At youtube.com/Jim and Sam Show.
Right.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Goodbye.